Quick disclaimer, the new channel avatar art that debuts in this video was provided by my good friend Sean Drew, a talented animation graduate. Go check out some of his work. Links are in the description. Now, on with the video! I'm going to share a bit of a story with you all. Ever since that little blue alien there said, "I'm lost," danced with a Hawaiian girl to Elvis, and learned the meaning of Ohana, I prayed for another motion picture of pure Disney magic to match the personal classic that was Lilo and Stitch.
Sure must be nice being the good guy.
It took 10 years for that film to arrive, but it was worth the wait. Wreck-It Ralph is one of my personal favourite animations ever. I love it, unconditionally, from the bottom of my heart. I could gush about the things it excels at all day, but I'm not going to. Instead, I'm going to try and dig into why this film has stuck with me in a way few others have. You know, as I get older, I find that the magical allure animated characters had for me in my youth becomes harder to replicate. While I can easily love a piece of animation and have it stick with me, it becomes hard for it to really penetrate your soul, to personally touch you, become a part of you, even perhaps define you as a person. And I think that, as adults, if we are lucky enough for some media to personally affect us that much, be they films, television shows, video games, or something else, we should treasure them. There are only two things I've personally discovered since this film that have had anywhere near the same impact on me. The first being the Kirby video games in 2014, the second being My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, starting with the movie last year. Even then, Wreck-It Ralph's on a higher pedestal. But why? What is it about this film that has really resonated with me? Is it because the characters' arcs match something I've gone through, or I can see myself in them to an unnerving degree? Not especially. If I were to pick an animated film where the main character's journey matched mine, Monsters University would be a better candidate. Mike's attempts to be a scarer peter out when he simply can't be scary, despite excelling in every other area and being so committed. Yet, he finds other ways to contribute. This maps onto my attempts to get into animation, for which this channel is something of a release. But, does that mean the film has had a big personal impact on me? No, though that mature life lesson is one of the great things about Monsters University. In terms of personally important films where the main character is like me, A Bug's Life fits the bill best. Flick being a fast-paced, quirky oddball who's kinda socially awkward, but means well, reflects me accurately. As an adult, I cannot help but interpret him as being autistic too. Yet, that's not why A Bug's Life stuck as my favourite film for most of my teenage life, where I watched it weekly at times. I wasn't exactly a normal teenager. So, does a film having a personal impact on me come down to directly identifying with a character's personality or journey? I'd have to say no. Clearly, there's more to why I love this film unconditionally. I'd have to say that it is, mostly, the two main characters.
My name's Ralph, and I'm a bad guy.
To say Ralph himself is a flawed character shouldn't be a surprise. Main characters should be. Flawless characters usually aren't interesting, and even the ways in which Ralph is flawed aren't original. He makes reckless mistakes in his quest for respect, outright lying and cheating even if it's without malicious intent, yet we totally see where he's coming from. At his core, he's just a clumsy, misunderstood big guy who dreams only of being loved. We've all seen this guy before. Yet, Ralph's a terrific main character. I think some of the trick comes down to how he's basically our lovable guy through the film's worlds. Both Hero's Duty and Sugar Rush are new to him, so he's discovering these places alongside us. When he and Vanellope rush to build a cart, he's learning how it works on the fly, and this is where some of Vanellope rubs off on him, and he becomes less of a sad sack, actually enjoying himself. The cart they make is a mess, yet Vanellope loves it anyway.
I love it.
You do?
I love it. 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 I finally have a real cart.
Every time I watch the film, this is where I feel my heart melt a bit. There's another thing that makes Ralph so great. If Vanellope is the wacky, comedic one, he's basically the straight man, yet she does not overshadow him, even when part of the joke is that she does. Even before he meets her, and even before she starts to charm her way into his heart, he can have fun and smile like a gooster.
Ooh, sweet golden medal. First-person shooter coming through. Ooh, robot.
And later, when he interrogates Sarabelle, he makes many similar sideswipes.
Wonder how many licks it'll take to get to your center.
Basically, Ralph hits the right balance of sensitivity, earnestness, and humor, And that's not counting the obvious thematic resonation of his journey. His quest to prove he's not a bad guy says so much about not just labels defining us, but to what degree we let them define us. When Ralph recites the Badon chant during his heroic sacrifice,
I'm bad, and that's good. I will never be good, and that's not bad. There's no one I'd rather be than me.
It's nigh on impossible for me to not feel my heart leave my chest. Yes, even with the Superman and Iron Giant vibes, that, my friends, is the power of such a layered character journey. Personally, I find it hard to decide which of these aspects are one I admire on a technical level, and which are ones that have personally endeared him to me. You know, in the end, it doesn't matter much. I love the big guy.
Vanellope von Schweetz. Has a nice ring to it, don't you think?
Of course, despite the title, Wreck-It Ralph is ultimately a film about two misfits forming a bond and becoming kindred spirits. Now, Vanellope and Sugar Rush are the film's most divisive aspects. The most common complaint I hear is that once the film enters Sugar Rush, 27 minutes into a 93-minute film, it spends almost the rest of the film there. Thus, the game-hopping journey peppered with cameos that it appeared to be, ceases to be. Not a viewpoint I agree with, even if I see it. All I can say is, keeping it to Sugar Rush once we arrive allows Vanellope to be the second biggest character. Vanellope is a miracle. This is a character we should, by all means, hate. She's screechy, she's snappy, she's every hyperactive kid that just won't leave you alone at Ralph's poor expense during their first scene. I've met people that just didn't warm up to her, despite really liking just about everything else in the film. Of course, no one could hate her, not after we find out she's constantly ridiculed for being a glitch, a mistake that shouldn't exist. What's worse, being bound to her game, her life's even worse than Ralph's. Now, it's common in films to make a character sympathetic by putting them in a terrible situation that isn't their fault. So, if this were all Vanellope did to endear me to her, it wouldn't be enough to really grow to love her. Why do I find her moments, that should be grating, so utterly funny, lovable, and adorable? Not really certain, but every moment of hers is handled carefully, making sure she never crosses over to truly annoying, at least for me. It helps that she never, even once, treats Ralph the way everyone else does. She just sees him as a strange but lovable newcomer in her locked-in world.
Come on. Those people are gonna love you. You know why? Because you're a winner.
I'm a winner.
And you're adorable.
I'm adorable!
And everyone loves an adorable winner.
Yeah!
So, I think the reason the film's touched me so much is specifically because of her and Ralph. Together, unlike Ralph, Vanellope isn't as complex on her own in this film, despite being bundles of fun. It's still Ralph's film, after all. Much like Ralph, she's stuck in a tragic rut, though she's far more content to be high energy than let her vulnerability show true, compared to Ralph, who pouts with little incentive.
Enjoy your little tantrum, diaper baby?
Leave me alone.
This contrast does a lot for their comedic potential. As for how you can interpret their relationship, I've seen several takes. Old geezer and little kid, big brother and little sister. Whatever way you toss it, I've never failed to cry tears of joy during that final scene. Would they have gotten close had they met under different circumstances? Probably not. Now, as complex and wonderful as their relationship is, why has it left a huge impact on me? Honestly, I don't know. I'm probably missing some reasons. I don't really understand everything about myself, after all. Certainly that I first saw the film during my final year of schooling, a bright beacon in a study-filled time, is a part of it. But that wouldn't explain why it stuck with me. Maybe the above does. Of course, there's plenty else about the film to love. Everything to do with King Candy is a true highlight to me, despite many Disney and Pixar villains since following a similar path and setup, rarely bettering him. Even if, being the villain, he can't have the personal impact on me Ralph and Vanellope do. It's full of so many cool, awesome moments that have you grinning from ear to ear. It gets the joyful energy of games down pat, which goes a long way to making it authentic. As a Nintendo-centric gamer, this warms me greatly. Helps that it's complex too. There is a reason that 7-minute sequence outside the mountain, where the film slows down and considers the moral complexity of the character's dilemma, is often considered the best part. Given all this, I'd love the film even aside from the personal impact it's had on me. I can say that without a doubt.
Start churning butter and put on your church shoes, little sister, because we're about to blast off!
Ralph, what is it you're trying to say?
We're going to the internet.
What?
At the time of writing, Ralph Breaks the Internet comes out here a mere days. I think it will be close to the original, but it probably won't hold together as well. As for the impact it'll have on me, it won't be as close. It'll lack the surprise, for one thing. But I love these characters. I almost can't believe it. I'm getting another adventure with them. They'll grow and learn more about themselves, while giving me more reasons to love them even further. If it does that, and stays true to them, there's no way the film won't win me over. Will it age worse than the original? Probably. The internet changes fast. But, as an adult, it's rare that a film can excite you this much that your reservations simply cease to be. Only when it gets into your soul can it do that. Ralph and Vanellope, they have certainly done that to me. Thanks a lot for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed this look into why I love this film so much. I'm sure you all have films, or games, or television shows, or other forms of media that have had a personal effect on you the way this one has on me. I'd love to hear about them. Tell me everything. What we are affected by says a lot about us, you know. And we should share what we love with others. Even if they don't share our love, they could still applaud us for it and be happy for us. In its own way, there's beauty in that alone. I don't always know what the channel's future is, but I can say this is the start of a new era. I really hope you'll join me in this journey, me and my avatar. Like the little guy yet? I hope so, because he's here to stay. From the two of us, here's to the future.